Hi guys, welcome to my niece TV Zealots. Tonight we're here with 911 episode 2 and 3. Because we, got a little sidetrack. We couldn't get the episode in for last week, but we're here. My name is Denise. My partner in crime is Mary. Mary, say hi.
Hi, welcome to our recap. Be sure to give our video a like and subscribe to our channel. 911 is a show about first responders, the police that they work with. This show is very episodic, but they have some things that flow through the episodes. Those are the things that I feel like we should talk about. So we've got Abby. She works in the call center. So she's the first voice you hear, 911, what's your emergency? Then you've got Bobby, Buck, Aunt. Oh no, what's Aisha's name? I just call her Aisha. And Chim. They are the first responders. And you got Angela Bassett, who plays Athena. She's the police officer that they work closest with. I am really growing to like most of these characters. Angela Bassett, she's a winner. Like I don't know how they talked her into this show, but if she wasn't on it, I don't know if it would be as good as it is. I'm dead serious.
I agree with you, especially in the episode tonight.
Ooh, so good,
man.
This was a lot of heavy stuff that happened tonight. Let's go back to last week so we can work our way up to tonight. So we've got a 911 call for a roller coaster getting stuck upside down, and one of the guys fell off and the other guy is hanging, and he's a really big guy. Buck goes out there to save him, but the guy just lets go. He won't reach out for Buck, and he lets go and he dies. And this is the first time that Buck was on the field, and he really failed someone. He didn't grab him quick enough or whatever. And so he really is taking that to heart the whole time. A lot of this episode is kind of given to that. I'll go through Buck really quickly. He's all over the news. He's like, oh, I just want to save his life and I failed him. And they're like, oh, this young, attractive first responder, let's keep putting him on the news. And Abby, they talk together on the phone. She's like, you know what? I feel like I should call him and I should encourage him. And they talk quite a few times during this episode. And it's very strange. They kind of develop a weird crisis crush on each other. She's got to be 20 years older than him, but hey, whatever.
Look, remember on Glee.
It is Ryan Murphy after all. So he's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go to counseling. Like you're telling me, like my boss, Bobby, is telling me. So he goes in for counseling, sleeps with the counselor. And she's like, well, you can't come back here again. Well, see you later, And he's like, and so then at the end of the episode, Abby's like, would you like to go eat food with me? He's like a date. And she's like, yes, like a date. And he's like, I'm going to say no because I care about you. Because if we do something in person, I'm just end up having sex with you like I do with every other woman I'm in a room with. Because it was obvious, with his counselor. So they decide that they're just going to be having crushes on each other over the phone. So let's move over to Angela Bassett's storyline. Yeah, it was that awkward. I'm not exaggerating the awkwardness. Angela, as we found out in the pilot, she is dealing with marital problems. Her husband has finally decided after 20 years of marriage that he's going to come out of the closet. He's gay, always has been. This was kind of like a beard situation. He doesn't know what to do. And he goes and he comes out to the kids, and the boy is kind of okay, but their teenage daughter is, being a teenager. She's like, they're gonna do this now, And so then we come to this episode, and they are at marital counseling, and I thought this was very interesting. And she's like, you know what? I was being really unfair. She's like, a lot of this is my fault too. She's like, I've been abusive verbally, like I've not been, a supportive friend, if anything. Like, she's like, I'm willing to make this family work. And he's like, yes, me too. Like, these are my kids. These are my babies too. You're my best friend. Like I'm sitting here like, oh, they're healing. This is beautiful. And she's like, and I made a vow. And he's like, that's right. So did I. She's like, good. I'm glad you agree with me. So we could just be celibate. Stay married as a family. He's like, oh, I met someone. You know what? Let's just hold off until the next session. Let's just, and so poor Angela Bassett, she thought they were going to get somewhere. And I'm like, girl, still naive.
Like, how could you even think that? Because no, no, and no. Like, you may want to be a nun, but not everybody wants to be a nun.
Yeah, she's like, we've been celibate like 4 or 5 years. She's like, what's 10 more?
No. People have questions that they need to get answered. Like, no.
Oh my gosh. And so they get home, bickering back to where they started almost. And she goes to check on the daughter, and the daughter has overdosed. It looks like a bottle of pills on her dresser, and she is non-responsive. Her heart has it. I think she said her heart has stopped, or she's not breathing, one or the other. And so that's almost where we pick up for tonight. It starts off with kids in a bouncy house, and it falls over a cliff, and it's hanging. And I don't know why the Asian guy, Chimney, he's like, why don't I get to do any of the exciting stuff? They're like, just hold the anchor, bring the thing down when we need to tell it, Well,
I mean, I feel him. Like, it's not like he's incapable of doing these things. Like, he wants other responsibilities. Like, he let Pretty Ricky jump up and do all the things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When they were supposed to sedate the dogs, he ran out of the house last week. The pilot, they were supposed to jump off of something, and he's like, you know what? I'm cool. Like, so to change that today, today to be like, I never. It was like, but you never want. Anyway, so I was eye rolling at that. First off, so they save the people. He goes home. He's all like, me. Should I just go with him? Yeah. Let's just go with his storyline. He goes home. He's like, don't come in here. I'm cooking you something extra special. Pulling food out of boxes. And he was like oven roasting just like an onion on a tray. She's like, smells great in there. He's like, yeah, I know. And they're eating dinner. She's like, a man that can cook, a man that is fearless. He's like, yeah, we were rappelling down the side of that mountain. She's like, you're fearless. She's like, I'm so turned on by that in a man. And I'm like, well, you're in love with me.
But I knew where it was going.
Yep.
I knew where it was going. I knew, and her face when he was like, yeah, well, you're gonna really, she's like, I could do this forever. And I'm like, she don't mean that.
Don't say forever.
And when he got down on one knee, like she was like,
yeah.
She was appalled. Like she was taking a bath.
Yeah.
I was like, she ain't ready. She does not want this at all.
Yep.
And he's so just oblivious. It's ridiculous. He was shocked. But anyway, he finds out that she has been engaged before and she actually has commitment issues. She's like, why didn't you ask me? And he's like, why would I ask you for permission to ask you to marry me? Like, this makes no sense.
It's true.
Woo. But he is pissed off. So he goes, back to the firehouse and he's like talking with what's his name? Bobby.
The boss.
And they're all he's like, he comes in, confessed, look, I proposed to her. She said, she got commitment issues, and they're all like, oh, okay, well, it's not a no. And then Bobby's like, well, good riddance. And he's like, what?
Yeah, he says probably for the best.
He's like, well, since you asked, I'll go ahead and tell you why I don't like her.
Yes.
He was like, you're not yourself when you're around her. She's not in love with you. She's in love with the superhero you done turned yourself into. Like, no. He's like, you got me cooking dinner for y'all. And then you're lying, saying you cooked it. Like, it was
lying.
Oh my God. It was a whole situation. And he read them thoroughly. Of course, he gets upset and he leaves and goes for a drive. He's out there on the road, just speeding, free. And so he swerves, and then he stops just short of hitting one of those cement beams.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that he was trying to get around is going so fast behind him that he smashes him. And it is bad. It is bad. And so we don't know. We don't know if he's okay or going to be okay. Because, when we get 911 and everybody comes and Bobby comes and there is, what are those? Metal beam poles?
Oh, rebar.
Yeah, rebar.
Yeah.
Straight through his head, like coming through the middle of his forehead. It's scary and crazy. And he doesn't feel any pain, but he thinks he's okay. He doesn't even know what's happened. And so Bobby's like, yeah, it's not good. Don't look, don't move, don't do nothing.
He's like, I can feel my legs. Whenever I move my head, they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Like, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to damage yourself forever. You're going to die, son. Die.
Yeah. And when Bobby goes to visit the girlfriend, I feel her.
I was so upset with her because she's like, wait a minute. You want me, everything I'm going to do, it's about me, 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 me. She's so selfish. And so he's like, no, this is not about you committing to him or promising to marry him or any of those things. This is about you being a decent person, having human decency.
Right.
You can't even do that. She's like, no, I'm not going to be goaded into this or that or anything. Like, I'm like, this chick right here.
I think Chim was in love with being in love with not being single.
I agree.
Because she's already a selfish person. She only wants to go out with someone that excites her. She's an adrenaline junkie. She's like, well, if I go see him and hold his hand, then I can't leave him. What if he can't feed himself? What if he can't walk? I can't leave him then. How long am I going to have to pretend to be in love with a guy, that can't excite her? So I say, leave now. Look, she's being real.
Yeah.
I'd rather her go than, I don't know, the angst would be a bit much. I just don't know. So let's pop back to Angela Bassett, to Athena. They rush the daughter to the hospital. She's waiting for her husband. She just sends her son to the neighbor's house. We never see him again. Poor boy. But her husband comes and they're talking. They're like, it's gonna be okay. And there's this dude kind of standing there.
Girl.
And she's like, is he with you? Mood killer.
Right, because they was just like having a moment. He was all had her in his arms and like
It wasn't
holding
even
her
romantic, but it was.
Yeah, he had her cupped. Like it was. And then of course the guy looks like, he's shocked, like or jealous a bit, it seems. But anyway, I'm like, I don't know. Why are they staying together? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I don't
Anyway.
I don't get it.
So they go in to see their daughter. She wakes up. And Child Protective Services. Oh, well, first she confesses that it wasn't about, dad being gay. It was about girls bullying her at school because of some guy, which is like, it's so stupid. Like, and it's still happening. Like, this was happening.
Yeah, it is sadly realistic.
Yeah. It's been happening forever, and it's still happening. Because we can't educate girls and teach them that it's not all about some boy. But okay, anyway. Yeah. So she tells them that she's been bullied or whatever, and they told her she might as well die, she might as well kill herself. And she's like, I didn't want to die. I promise you. I swear to you, I did not want to die. But like she felt like she had no choice, no other, no other resources or no other, alternative. So
right.
Yeah, it was crazy. And Child Protective Services comes in and is like, okay, well, she tried to kill herself. Must be something the parents did. So we gotta, see what the deal is, which I totally understand.
Right.
And it seems like she did too. Like dad was a little upset, but she's like, look, I know the drill. So
right.
And then they leave because of course they had to. Right. But then Athena's like, oh, he's like, where are we going? She's like, we're going home together. I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, ma'am, let this man go and be happy. Y'all need to be happy. You fine. You can find another man. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
And Athena's arc ends with her stalking that girl named Layla. She's looking for that crew. I think she's going to make things worse for her daughter if she confronts these girls. We'll see what happens next week. But she was at the school, going through the yearbook, trying to see who was who, looking for Layla. So now we move on to Abby. Her mom was not having a great day, but it also happened to be her birthday, and her brother and his family came over, and she didn't know who anybody was. She didn't know what the perfume was. So then she stopped, looked around. She said, hey, is it somebody's birthday or something with all these balloons doing here? Oh, I don't know why, but I love her mom. But her brother's like, look, there's an opening for this, what do they call it? A memory care facility. He's like, are you really living? Or are you giving up your life just to take care of your mom because you got some kind of guilt complex or a saint complex. And so, of course, she has to call her phone boyfriend, Buck.
Lord, is this healthy? Like,
I don't think so. I really don't think so. But they have a little chat, and he actually gives her decent advice. I just don't know what they're doing in that relationship. But then, she decides that she does want her mom to stay. So it was a cute episode. Like I said, I am enjoying it. I'm really here for the drama more than the 911 calls, even though they have been pretty good. But again, like if you guys want us to keep recapping it, please let us know. Give us a comment. Give us a like. I probably will continue to watch whether or not you guys, want us to recap it. But a couple of episodes. So I hope the show continues. And I hope Angela Bassett continues to be one of the main characters because her arc has been amazing.
Okay, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching and have a great night. Bye.